Good morning. This is Jason Dean coming at you again for another Film Fanatic show. It's about 10:54 on a Thursday morning. Hope everyone's doing good. So yeah, I've been I've been on back to revisiting some movies that I really love. The past month or so, I've been doing all kinds of shows on new purchases of mine that I've been getting a lot of new movies that I've never seen for the first time. I have I have really lucked out the last few months. I have been buying lots of movies I've never seen before. Some movies I had heard about and I was tracking down, and I was kind of tracking down. They had been on my radar for a while, and really lucked out with some amazing movies. So check out a lot of the reviews that I've been putting up. I did another show yesterday. It was actually recorded a few days ago, and it was on a movie called Super Beast, which is this really great monster movie from the 70s, 72, I believe. Real low budget exploitation movie that I never heard about I had never seen before or heard about. Bought it on a whim. Amazing movie, and I just posted that up on the channel, the YouTube channel, and it's also I did a review. Usually, when I do these videos, especially for new movies, or new purchases of mine, I usually do a video like this on them and talk about the movie, and then I also do a regular post where I'll use like a thumbnail photo of the poster artwork or the some kind of clip from the movie, and I'll usually post it on my personal page, Jason Dean, on Facebook, and then I will usually post it on my Instagram page at Main Film Fanatic, and then also on my Film Fanatic Facebook page, and then I also am a member of a couple of pages on Facebook that specialize in grindhouse movies, so I also post it on there. And the videos I usually post on the YouTube channel, and then my personal page, and then Film Fanatic page. So I usually do. Usually I like to tackle both, all of those things all at once when I do a new movie, especially. But there's also a lot of the times too. I also will just record a video and set it as a premiere, and I'll just have it. I kind of try to change up the format. So today's show is going to be one of those movies of where I have talked about it before, but I've been in this kick and deep desire to start watching some of my favorite Marvel movies again. I have been in I've been in a big slump, or I should say a lot of fatigue has set in around a lot of the new Marvel movies. I have not really been a fan of what's come out in the last couple of years. With the exception, the three last great Marvel movies I felt that have come out would be Infinity War from the Avengers, which is just a masterpiece. It's probably my favorite comic book movie of all time. I just think that movie is just amazing. The sequel, Endgame, which is incredible. It's an incredible movie. I was dumbfounded and mystified as to how they could continue that story, but yet they just brought it. And it's an incredible conclusion to the Avengers films. And then also, the last really great Marvel movie that I saw was the last Spider-Man movie. I thought that movie was incredible, where it incorporated the multiverse. And the animated movies that have come out are spectacular, but as far as the live action goes, I feel like that Spider-Man movie was the last one that came out that was really, really good. And ever since then, I have been really disappointed with all of these movies. I'm still a fan, So I lately I've been on this kick of revisiting one of my favorite franchises in the series, and that is the Captain America movies. So I did a big show yesterday on Captain America: The First Avenger. I have talked about these movies before, and I know I have probably posted some things about these movies, but I really love these movies, and so I've been in this kick where I've been watching all three movies. I'm watching all three movies back to back, and I'm doing kind of a reprise or a revisit of these films through these videos. So today's show is on Captain America: Winter Soldier. This movie, I just think, is kind of a masterpiece. It's an action masterpiece. I think, it's obviously a comic book movie, and it's a continuation from the first Avenger, which is really great. That movie was funny because always had a funny experience around that movie. When I first saw it, I thought it was okay. I thought it was good. And I've seen it. It's one of those movies, every time I see it, I enjoy it more and more. Now I think it's a really great movie. It's a great introduction to the trilogy of the Captain America movies. Captain America as a character in the Marvel Universe has always been one of my favorite characters of all time. I've always collected the Captain America comic books. I've always been a huge fan. And I thought, they did an amazing job. They couldn't have done a better job. And I think Chris Evans in the role of Captain America is an incredible, one of the best calls ever. And he is a really great actor. I think he is legitimately, as an actor, he's kind of limitless. I've seen him in so many different kinds of roles. I might do a show where I'm going to just talk about Chris Evans, because I think he is very well respected, but he has such an amazing track record of different films that he's been in. And I feel like, even though he's a big Hollywood, high-profile actor, especially because of these movies, I feel like he is not given the credit that he deserves as far as being an actor. Robert Downey Jr., of course, gets all of those accolades. He won for Oppenheimer last year or this year. But, there are a few other actors in the Marvel Universe that I think are really great. Mark Ruffalo, I think, is another one. Scarlett Johansson actually has a really great, some incredible abilities as an actress. Chris Evans, though, I think is really one of the best, if not the best. And so I might do a show where I'm going to just spotlight Chris Evans, because I think he isn't regarded as, I think he's not taken as serious as he should be as an actor. And I might talk about some movies that I've seen him in that are as far removed as possible from Captain America. But I think Civil War is, I think, one of the best sequels in the Marvel universe, as far as the kind of the first phase of the Avenger movies, and the all of the other movies, as far as the Spider-Man films, the Iron Man films, the Thor films. The list is kind of endless, but those first, the first 10 years, I feel were gold for the Marvel universe. But I really think that the Captain America movies are some of the best, if not the best, in the series. And I think it's rare because I think each movie gets better. The trilogy as a whole is just incredible. And it concludes with the Civil War, which will be the next movie in this trilogy. And I honestly think that each movie does get better. But that being said, I think Civil War might be the best sequel in the entire Marvel universe. I think the action in this movie is just amazing. The fight sequences in this movie are like anything else. I think the stakes are really revved up. There's an area and level of suspense that this movie has that is, above really everything else. It's a little grittier. It's a little darker. I think the fight scenes Captain America himself is a little bit more nasty. He's kind of he's kicking some serious ass, and it's a little bit more violent. It's got a little bit more of an edge to it, but it's and again, I've talked about it before where, a lot of films, I am, at the end of the day, I am really a practical effects guy. That's why, I talk about most, most of the movies that I talk about on this channel are the real sleazy kind of grindhouse movies, slasher films and all those things. And the reason I love those movies so much is I'm, at the end of the day, I'm really a practical effects guy. I've never really been a huge fan of CGI because I feel, well, especially right now, currently, I feel like CGI is well, not only is it overused, but I feel it doesn't really look good a lot of the times, and you would feel it would progress and get better, but I feel like it's kind of gotten worse, and we've been so inundated, you know, as an audience by it. And I've been really disappointed with it. And so at the end of the day, I'm a practical effects guy. But I think there are rare examples. There are definitely examples of where, obviously, if you're telling a story, an action movie or a fantasy movie or a superhero movie like Captain America, for instance, you have to kind of, the production value actually has to be massive. It has to be larger than life. So it's the tricky thing for the filmmakers to really bring, that kind of practical effects feel, as what, and then also incorporating the CGI and the technology and try to make it seamless, because I think it's really tricky. But I think what they did with this movie and this trilogy, but especially Winter Soldier, I think it's one of the greatest examples of using, practical effects, stunt fights, stunts and fight coordination, practical effects, and also CGI. I think the use of all of those things, which is so complicated, I think is one of the greatest. This is one of the greatest examples of like perfect symmetry of all of those things. The CGI, the practical effects, it's all. I think for this movie, it's so seamless. It's incredible. I think the Avenger films, especially Infinity War and Endgame, it's amazing what they did and what they were able to accomplish. Other films I feel like that are examples of that are the first Lord of the Rings movies. But this is amazing. I think this movie is a masterpiece, and it's probably, I really love Civil War, and I'm looking forward to watching that. But I kind of feel like the Winter Soldier is just, it's just badass. It's just amazing, especially the whole opening, the first 20 minutes of this film, where it takes place on this aircraft carrier that's been taken over by these pirates, is just amazing. So, and there's a rescue mission, and so suspenseful. The fight sequences are just amazing. One of the head villains in the beginning of the film is George St. Pierre, who was one of the greatest mixed martial arts champions in world history. So, I mean, it's just incredible. So I can't recommend this movie enough. I know most people out there have probably seen this movie, but I definitely can't recommend it enough to see it again, or especially to buy it and to see it on Blu-ray. If you've never seen it on Blu-ray, it's spectacular. Like it's one of the greatest immersive experiences that you can have. So thanks again, and we will see you next time. Peace.